Hey, this is SoCal Bob. And as you might know, I don't know how you know, but maybe you know, maybe you have some secret method to figure it out. I've been watching Alex Haley's Roots, the TV show Roots that was on in 75, 76 in there, and I just saw the scene where Kente, he escaped. He found a shard of metal in the field, and then he kept it and cut off his chain, and he got free. And he ran around. He discovered snow for the first time. It was like, wow, this is groovy, because Fiddler had told him about snow. But the dogs got him, and they brought him back, and they were brutally, savagely. And here's the funny thing. It's not funny in a ha-ha way. This is the crazy thing. It's absolutely crazy. At that time, back in the 16s, 17s, folks felt that the Africans, they didn't understand them, they never met them really, but they thought that Africans were basically savages. They were less than. Did they have feelings? Could they learn? I mean, it was just so excruciatingly, can't even say the word, it's so painful. It was excruciating, the means and the ways that these folks would go about dehumanizing and trying to destroy these folks. They had names, and we've heard the names, we know the names, and unless you're singing a rap song, you can't say the name. So if you're singing a rap song, then it's all over the place. But they strung Toby up. Fiddler went in to Lauren Green, who played the master, and said, master, they're going to kill him. And Lauren Green, the character that he played, said, well, he ran away. We can't have that kind of behavior. We've got to make an example out of him. So the field hand, who'd actually been a slave as well, but he'd been able to buy his way out after 7 years of indentured servitude, and he'd come from Ireland or another place, and he got in his way. But he was not a good man. He was a very mean, nasty, ugly man, and just no mercy, no grace. He was just all about using the slaves. He would call the female slaves to his cabin, and they were just savage, absolutely savage, and how they treated these other people. And even up until the century in which I was born, within 40 years, let me see, within about 30 years of my being born, they were still lynching black folks. They were just lynching them. And within 2 years of my birth, Emmett Tills was savagely beaten and thrown in the river. And his mother said, no, not this time. You're gonna pay. Sidney Poitier, he played in The Heat of the Night. He played a detective, a police officer. And at one point, the other older racist officer, he slapped Sidney Poitier. Sidney would not do the movie unless he could slap him back. That was the first time in cinematic history. We're talking 1968, 69. The first time in cinematic history that an African American man was allowed to defend himself. I mean, the man that taught me how to teach, he said that when he went to school, the black folks stood in the back. So the man that taught me how to teach school, his class had black folks stand. We're not talking 1450. This is all happening in my lifetime. So Kunta Kinte, Toby was supposed to be his name. That's what the master had given him an English name, Toby. But Kunta was a warrior, and he was not going to go down quietly into that good night. So they kept whipping him and whipping him and whipping him and ripping the flesh from his bones. And what's your name? Kunta Kinte. And he would go on and on and on. And all the other slaves were watching. They couldn't do a thing. They were just... So eventually, Kunta just couldn't take it anymore, and he said, Toby. And it was so sad, because they had absolutely just ripped his skin and beaten him into submission. And sometimes that's how it is with us, isn't it? We get beaten into submission. The world, our spouse, the best friend, somehow we get told, look at Job in the Bible. The Bible says that Job was afflicted by plagues. His wife, his cattle, everything he had was gone. But Job said, that's all right. I'm not going to curse God. His wife said, curse God and die. God doesn't care. But the Lord did care. The Lord had an agreement with the adversary. The adversary was accusing Job of just loving God because he had nice fingernails and because he had a beautiful wife. They didn't say anything about nice fingernails. I'm just saying that Job had life pretty good. He was a very rich man. Remember the Fiddler on the Roof? If I were a rich man, would it spoil some vast eternal plan? If I were a wealthy man. So I was so touched just now by seeing that scene again with Kunta Kinte, and I thought, wow. We as believers, we as Christians, we're beaten night and day and night. People want to beat us. They want to get us. They want to kick us out of their churches. They want to get us on the ground and stomp on our faces and put their big boot on our neck and make us submit to them because they are the master. They are the Lord. They are the head honcho of the organization. So they can beat the junk out of you. Well, what if there's no junk to beat out? What if they're just being savages? What if they're just being mean, nasty, ugly? It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference why we're allowed to suffer. But the point is, Kunta Kinte, he held on. And then when Fiddler came up, they finally said, cut him loose, and his lifeless body dropped to the ground and just hanging on by a thread. And Fiddler says, give me the tar, give me the medicine, and he's holding him. And I watched the conversation with Fiddler and Kunta Kinte, and Fiddler said, listen, it doesn't matter what the man says. It doesn't matter what that guy tells you your name is. You'll always be Kunta Kinte. No one can take that out of you. You are Kunta Kinte. You are the warrior. You are a very, very good man. And everyone recognizes that Kunta Kinte is beyond belief amazing. He tries to escape again at some point, and they took an axe and they cut off his foot and cut off half his foot, so he couldn't run as fast. And but eventually, the family of Kunta Kinte was free, as we all know. And yet, as I said, that freedom happened in 1865, and I was born well within 100 years of that, and slavery was gone, but the treatment of African American people remained, and it still does today. Still today, I feel obligated to share love and grace, and to reach out, and to be my very best, to love Jesus my very best around folks who are underprivileged, people who are perhaps under a cultural divide. Could be Chinese, Mexican, Russian, females, anybody at all. I don't discriminate on the basis of anything. I love all people. And that's our job as Christians. Don't let anybody knock the Kunta Kinte out of you. Make sure you stay strong and stay filled and stay close to God. Read the Word. Read the Word. Give a kiss to your mezuzah before you leave home today. Remember that there's no man, there's no woman in this world that can take the place of God. Truth. Word. There's no activity. There's no substance. There's no alcohol. There's no experience that you can have with another human being. Nothing beats the presence of God. Nothing beats the presence of God. So let's together, you and I, live like that today. I love people. There's a friend of mine, I tell him I love him every single day. I tell him I love him so much. People kind of get weirded out sometimes. Oh, Bob, brother Bob, you're my brother. You remember, you're my brother. I love people so much that they get freaked out. They're like, oh man. And it's just my words carry so much power because I absolutely know that I'm loved and I can love other people. And it's with an agape love. There are other kinds of loves. Loves for the Dodgers, loves for pizza, I love hiking or cutting wood or whatever it is. But no, the agape love of God is the love that we can share freely, no strings attached, and it's a blessing. All right, well, if you need anything, give me a call. 213-713-8954, 8954green at att.net. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. Facebook. That's the ticket. I love you. Talk to you soon. This is SoCal Bob coming to you westbound on the Santa Monica Freeway.